Just waiting for the 5:30 mark to come up here. Still waiting. Let's call the Shoreline Fire Regional Authority Board of Commissioner meeting to order for August 7th, 2025. Please stand and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I'm going to be leaving here on a call, guys. I apologize.
Just leave your stuff on.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler. See, Tyler's still there.
Gotta put shoes on first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I see no public here, so we'll move on. Consideration of the agenda, Chief.
I'd like to add 2 items under new business. Just because I felt they warranted a little bit more discussion. One, update on negotiations,
Okay,
and the second, a update on St. Margaret's Place.
St. Margaret's. Margaret's or Mary's? Margaret's.
Margaret's.
Okay. We need approval of the past minutes for July 24th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to accept the minutes of July 24th.
A motion by Commissioner Hevlin. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Rick beat you a little bit quicker, Lisa. Seconded by Commissioner Nye. Is there any changes or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Oh,
Oh, fun.
love the sunglasses, David.
And the sign.
Okay, passes unanimously. I don't see any correspondence, so unless anything's been added, we'll move on to standing agenda warrants. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to accept disbursements in the amount of $3,323,998.30.
No problem.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Hevlin. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Yay, Lisa.
I'll second
It's been motioned by Commissioner Hevlin, second by Commissioner Willem. Any concerns or changes or comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
it. Hi.
Passes.
Aye.
Unanimously. Do you have anything for Commissioner report? Group on Zoom land? Nope. Okay. Rod, anything?
Nope. One.
Rick, do you
Yep.
have anything? All right. Lively group tonight. Financial report. Chief, was there anything that needs to be brought to our attention?
I didn't have an opportunity to review it with Rachel, but I did want to bring your attention that there was an unexpected it's not huge, but there's an unexpected cost for PCERN radios. We will be over budget on that line item for 7,500. We thought that it was or I thought it was incorporated into a different line item, and we zeroed it for our 2025.
Chief Cowan, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you please speak up or speak towards the mic?
Sure. I just wanted to bring your attention that there is a line item that was zeroed in our 2025 budget for PCERN radios. We thought that the cost was embedded in another line item, but as we were looking at it more closely in recent weeks, it was not, and so we will be over budget. There's a zero in a line item that should be 7,500. So it's not a huge amount of money or anything like that, but I just wanted to bring your attention to it. Because at some point you'll see it and you'll be like, why didn't we budget $7,500? 7,564 to be exact, I believe.
No.
Other than that, the overtime, the line items are gonna, like I mentioned at the last meeting, are gonna be a bit skewed for the remainder of this year. I think as we get towards the end of this year, it'll start to get a better, more accurate financial picture for us. I thought the overtime was actually better than expected for the month of June. It was in line with what I would expect. July and August will obviously be a heavier months for us coming up, being in the summer.
This whole thing is based on a May 1 fiscal year, correct?
Yes, the RFA budget, the
Yeah.
lineups, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thus the 75% target. That's what we're looking
Correct.
at. Okay.
So which is why we're gonna be kind of skewed for the rest of
Yeah.
the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because some things are annual payments that we've already paid for, some are quarterly.
Yep.
So it's not gonna be quite as accurate as we have normally been in recent years.
I noticed on the overtime cost, the last page here for fire suppression and BLS EMS staffing only.
Yes,
June in 24 for fire suppression was only 33. And this year, or that was 2024, and this year we're up to 74.
correct. But it was still in line with what I was thinking it would be. June is usually a heavier year. I don't know why June of last year was as low as it was. That the 2 months before and after were heavier.
Yeah, I noticed that. Do you think maybe the numbers got kind of
Yeah,
wonky a little bit, maybe? I just
It-
thought, wow, from last year, we've doubled in that one
Right.
and
yeah. Maybe there wasn't any deployments or anything last year. I couldn't tell you. We've had some deployments though.
I know there
So-
were points last year, but, okay.
Now, are these figures? These are RFA figures, not just shoreline figures, correct?
These are RFA numbers. So,
These are RFA or, okay,
correct. Everything is combined now. Everything's everything.
But the staffing has been.
But the
combined.
percentages, I guess what's gonna be skewed is the percentages. The line items and the percentages please don't get hung up too much on the percentages as much as,
yeah.
they're not gonna be as accurate as in previous years. Should get more in line by the end of the year, but it still will probably be off for the remainder of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
Chief, can you touch on why you guys separate out the BLS overtime from the suppression overtime?
Yes, there's a few different reasons. The predominant reason is for GEMT. We separate out our BLS expenses for personnel, separated out for GMT purposes because that's part of our funding for reimbursement. And so GMT will cover for preparedness costs. And so there's a portion of our budget, even though they're all suppression personnel, but we separate out the cost for the aid cars, separated out from the fire suppression, the engines and truck, so that we can have a more accurate and maximize the reimbursement potential from GMT.
Thank you. Can you explain a little more about the reimbursement you get for preparation for from GEMT?
The GMT is a reimbursement. There's a couple of different facets that GMT reimburses for. One of them is for the preparedness to go do a transport. So, and so that's why we take a percentage of our personnel or a number of our personnel, like just to make it easy for numbers. Let's say we have 100 suppression personnel and I don't know, 35 of them are on the aid cars. We pull 35% of the suppression costs and separate it out in the budget. And that's because GMT will reimburse it. It's a complicated formula. In fact, we don't even do it ourselves. We contract out the computation of the GMT reimbursement and a formula that's based off of the cost of being prepared to go on a transport. It's one of the things that is allowable under the GMT, and actually that's the intent is that we pre-staff or prepare to be able to do the transports. And then of course there's reimbursement for the actual transports themselves, which is, well, actually I shouldn't say there, we have BLS transport fees that are reimbursement, but the formula is the preparedness to go on the transport. And it's a complicated formula. I don't have it with me and I would ask Rachel to come in if you want to speak to that. She's the expert on it. And she works with our consultant to figure out what that formula is. And it's an estimate only. We will do the GMT and we'll estimate and get a reimbursement for the number of transports that we do based off the formula. But then it gets reconciled, and we typically get more money than is allocated because we typically like to estimate a little low and get a reimbursement or more reimbursement than have to owe money at the annual reconciliation. I think there's been one year that we had to come up with some extra money, but typically we get more reimbursement when it's reconciled.
Copy. Yeah, I'm familiar with the compensation for the actual transport, but unfamiliar with compensation for the preparation phase or being prepared to respond. I'd love to talk with the person who handles that for the department.
Yeah, that'd be Rachel. And that's the basis of the formula, which the number of transports, gets put into that formula, which is how we get the numbers of reimbursement. But to your point, I couldn't tell you everything that's computed in there. Rachel, and I can schedule time with her, or you can call or email her and set up a time. She won't be back until next week, though.
That's fine. I'll reach out. It'll probably be a couple weeks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
If there's no further questions on the financial side or the financial report, let's move on down the list. Anything about strategic activity report? Chief? Same old stuff?
Matt, did you want to brief on the HVAC?
So we had previously talked about the opportunity to
You
blend.
may want to pull up a chair so Josh can hear you. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. You guys hear me okay? We had previously talked about the opportunity to blend an HVAC replacement at 57 simultaneously to the generator project. I just a brief update. We've had the opportunity to meet with TCA, our architects, and we feel like we're on a good track to actually make that happen. We're meeting the architects and Mac Miller, the company that's doing the generator work, tomorrow at 57. They're going to look at they already have a lot of the scope kind of designed, and it's not a big leap for them to put together the HVAC proposal because of the work they've done for the generator and the drawings they have of the building and the systems within. So we recognize that we still have to go out to do an RFP for the HVAC stuff, but we're taking advantage of the knowledge that Mac Miller has of the building and having our architects to kind of help develop our RFP. Mac Miller is aware. They are interested in putting together a quote for this project when the RFP comes out. We did make contact with Brian Snur, one of the attorneys that we work with, that helps clarify like the bid rules and the RFP rules to make sure that we had a couple questions. The architects had a couple questions of if we could just use go out to bid for just the design, or if we could do a design build. And so he gave us some clarifying information on that, which helped us feel like we're on a good track. It sounds like the equipment can be pulled together, and again, enough time. It'll be a tight timeline, but between putting the RFP together, ordering the equipment once the contract is awarded, based on who we go out, who's selected based on their proposal, and lining everything up. But we'll need, at some point, I'll come back and ask for formal approval of that process based on what we receive through the RFP process. And hopefully we can have only one shutdown for a little while at 57 instead of multiple over a period of time. So anyways, good. We're making good progress on that.
I have a quick question, Chief. You said that you were corresponding with the lawyer. Was that all in writing?
Yep. Yes.
And you're saving that?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Good question.
We got burned before, so. Trying to
Yeah.
cover bases.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. There's nothing else to add for the strategic activity report. Let's move on to RFA activity reports. You might as well just stay there. Chief Cowens, anything for Chief Cowan? Discussion for future challenges with FEMA and DHS. What were the challenges? If you can say,
No, I can.
okay,
This isn't any new news, but there's a lot of chaos at the federal level regarding DHS and FEMA and what's going to be supported and what's not. What's going to happen with the USAR teams is, and you know, it seems to flip flop. I wouldn't say daily, but almost weekly as to what's going to happen. Is FEMA going to get dissolved, and is USAR going to be, because that's USAR is a piece of that. Is USAR going to be kicked back to the states to manage? And if so, what's that funding look like? What's that response look like, and all that? And so, and we're still short. We've been reimbursed for 1.6, don't quote me exactly on the numbers, but 1.6 million, and we need another 2.1 million for reimbursement for deployments. And that's just for Washington State. Or actually, that's just for our task force. Well, that's the only one in the state. So, so for task force 1, we're short 2.1 million for reimbursement on deployments. They're confident that they're going to get the money. It's just, why aren't we getting it? And when are we going to get it? So
Whole task force or just shoreline?
no, just the whole task force, not just us. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm sorry if I just didn't communicate that correctly. It's the whole task force. So, you know, obviously there's some angst. There was, it'd been quite a while since we'd had a meeting, a governing board meeting. And I also, just FYI, I represent, there's 2 of us that represent King County on the USAR for task force 1, and I'm one of them. So it was good to have the meeting. I think we felt better at the end of it. They're doing okay on staffing and all that. But with the chaos of finances and all that, it's just it's a little unknown. But I think we're just trying to stay, you know, on an even keel, you know, on this. So, but there are some challenges there, and yet to be determined, you know, how that plays out.
Well, not over.
No, it's not, you know,
A long throw.
So
yeah. Anything else for Chief Cowan? Let's move on to Chief Hooksteins.
I'm interested in the discussions about how to increase security of our apparatus and the equipment and the apparatus from theft and damage. Did they come up with anything for?
Yeah, is that where are you seeing that on there?
It's under IT, but
Oh, yeah, okay, so, yeah, I met with, I've been doing some research, I've met with our shop. I've met with Zeb. And we're trying, I'm putting together. A document that lists our options for security of our apparatus and our equipment on our apparatus. There are pros and cons to everything that we do. With this, there's costs associated with most of these choices. But as we know, and we've seen in the news, you know, there's been apparatus and staff vehicles stolen recently. Some of those have caused incidents, accidents, other accidents, right? That is also left. We don't know what that missing piece of equipment has meant operationally for the home department in the immediate aftermath. Obviously, there's a cost associated with equipment when it's stolen, and an operational impact as well. So we're you know, with Chief and I and Chief Worms have had several conversations. We're touching base with other departments, trying to understand what they're doing. There's no perfect solution out there. There's no silver bullet. Chief Worms has put some directives out there for right now for the crews to leave a person with the apparatus to make sure that we're securing vehicles at all times off property. And I followed that up with my support services staff as well, making sure that nobody's running into the Taco Bell to grab a lunch and not locking their door or whatever, right? Again, we're kind of in that research phase, trying to figure out what our options are, and that includes things such as air tags or tiles on the equipment. It includes air brake lockouts. So you have to punch a digital code in to your engine air brake before you can move it. There are GPS trackers that we could put on the rig. Our computers already have AVL for tracking, but that's really only able to track us when we're en route, which not necessarily when we're at scene. We've looked at the locking mechanisms of equipment within the rigs, but again, we've talked about locking equipment within the rig, not just the compartment door, but the actual equipment inside the compartment. Again, all of these things have pros and cons. Some of it's expense, some of it's a potential slowdown of speed to access stuff. Some of it is battery replacement for air tags, for example. Some of it's the annoyance of your iPhone blasting every time it finds an air tag all over the rig. Some of it's the time and expense of our staff to put GPS trackers in hidden on the equipment somewhere, in the installation to hardwire GPS trackers. Again, no silver bullet, but we're trying to evaluate our options out there and see what we've got. We've even looked at converting like the tablets that we use for incidents to transition our tablets to cellular capable tablets that we could then use as a tracker. If the rig is stolen and the tablet is in the rig, then we could follow that. But again, to replace all our iPads and make them cellular capable has a big cost to it, right? So more to come.
no, that's
We have some decisions to make what we can do at a minimum probably, but again, there's pros and cons to all of it.
absolutely.
And that's why I'm trying to put together a document that shows the kind of the talking points and pros and cons of all of this, and then at executive level, and we can try and make some decisions, especially with budget season coming up. So
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the apparatus itself getting taken
yeah,
than I am, losing a chainsaw. But
And
years ago, we had the ability to disconnect the ignition at the scene. And still the heavy red lights going over, they only took the ignition out, so they couldn't start her. And that's not expensive.
Right.
So that was surprising that others haven't jumped to do that. Because I know that that's one thing that
Yeah,
has been done in the past, so.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pull the ignition, are you talking about like an actual key or something?
It was a toggle switch hidden up underneath the dash.
Oh, okay, so like an extra kill switch.
It's just a toggle, yeah, when you got to the scene, you flip that and your lights can stay on, but your ignition doesn't work.
Yeah, I'd be curious if Tyler or Josh or Rick, if you guys have any feedback. We can do it offline, but if you know of your departments that are doing anything to track an apparatus if it's stolen, or prevent an apparatus from being stolen, or securing equipment on the apparatus in any way, securing staff vehicles besides just locking it. What I'd be curious what your guys' departments are doing offline, if you wouldn't mind messaging me or swinging by and chatting sometime if you got a lot, but I'd like to hear what you guys are doing. I am reaching out to other support services chiefs, but if you guys have any insight, please let me know.
I would also like to add, I mean, first of all, we're taking this seriously, trying to come up with some
Yeah,
solutions to
yeah.
mitigate some of the risks, but. Clearly, the worst would be to have a critical piece of equipment, we can't open the compartment door, or we can't get it out. And it affects, our ability to, do something. But the other thing I would caution us on is and the reason I appreciate you going offline. Is some of the solutions that we're coming up with, we don't necessarily want to publicize either.
Right.
So, so I think it's a good conversation, but some of the solutions might end up being more of an offline conversation.
Well,
Well, thank you. I know that I kind of went on a little bit of a rampage last meeting, and I apologize for that, but
Oh, good.
the apparatus especially, being stolen and damaged. That was a big concern of mine, that and monkey see, monkey do, here we go.
Yep.
And yeah, apparently it's starting, so once the apparatus is damaged, trying to get it repaired. OMG, it could take the apparatus out of service for a very long time.
Yes.
To be very costly, and
Agreed.
I'm concerned about insurance. I know rigs are insured, but when they come back and say, what did you do to try to prevent this? Did you leave the keys in the ignition? Did you leave it on? Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Insurance wise, maybe they would reconsider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else for Chief Hookstein? I did have a comment, right underneath the apparatus, says near future, critical vulnerabilities announced for a server. What?
I don't know what the vulnerability is in itself, but they were announced that these vulnerabilities are out there. So Zeb is in this document is saying that in the very near future, he sees this as a priority, and he's going to be doing updates to the servers to create defenses against those vulnerabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Let's move on to Chief Arms. Even though he's not here, maybe Chief Cowan or Chief Hookstein can answer questions.
Try,
If not, we can email him,
or I'll take notes and get back to you.
I text him.
only question I had about this was the clinical psychologist. Is that for our MIH program or is it something different?
We're exploring a number of different options to help out, not only internally with our own employees, but also what we are doing as we look at expanding the MIH program. This in particular is for our own support. So, what we'd like to do, or what we're planning on doing, is doing an RFP to see what's out there and what people can provide. I know that Chief Orms has had some conversations with one doctor in particular about some interesting ideas about how to be a resource for our personnel and for mental health. And how that augments in with our peer support teams, and so forth. So we don't know what we don't know to some degree. I mean, we have some ideas out there, but that's why we're gonna ask for a proposal to try and get what our expectation is that we're not gonna hire somebody, but we would get into a contract with somebody to provide, you know, a certain level of services for us. And those services might be kind of a la carte of like, what do we really want or what do we really need? But we just don't know yet. So until we do the proposal.
All right, this is the first I've heard about.
Looks like we have a firefighter that is affiliated with knowledge of helicopters,
Of the,
wildland deployments, helicopter manager.
yes.
Wow,
We actually have a few different people that are what we call single resource, where they can go to do either communications or air operations or there's another one, communications, air operations, maybe on there. No. I know there's another one. What's that?
Meadow, maybe?
I don't think so. Or maybe there's two communications people. Anyway,
Yeah.
these are single resource people that get deployed along with the, you know, and in this case, helping run air operations for the entire, you know, response.
it looks like we have two radio techs from Shoreline here. And then I'm assuming, I haven't. kept
Oh, yeah, there you
track.
go. Yeah, two
Yeah,
communications.
I
I'm
haven't
sorry.
kept track, but the fire down there by White Salmon, it looks like it's under control if people are being sent home and
I don't know.
don't know.
Sorry.
We had actually, my son from Oso, he took the tender down to that fire and he came home the day before. Not that the fire was out, but he had to be to work Monday. They gave him a
Right.
week to go down and participate and help out, but he had to be back home. It looks like the day after he got home, our group came home, so, okay, yeah. Anything else for Chief Orms? If not, moving on to old business. No old business, chief. How about new business and NEMCO and emergency management?
Right, so I thought I would provide some more update, at the last meeting, we discussed where Kenmore was with Nemco and. That they weren't supporting leaving Nemco, which is what I was, it seemed like that's where they were gonna go. I don't think that's a completely finalized decision, I think at this time, because they cautioned it a little bit by saying, at this time, we don't support leaving Nemco, so I think what I'm hoping for is that gets everybody back to the table and starts, you know, decide, you know, hopefully working together and really focusing on interoperability and efficiencies there. I did meet with Bristol, our city manager, yesterday. And we talked about a number of different things, but one of the things we did talk about was the what the NEMCO status was, what emergency management needs were across, you know, the three cities. You know, what does the future look like? And I think there's some ideas about what can happen, whether it all falls under Shoreline. Whether Shoreline joins Nemco, whether Nemco joins Shoreline, whether the two Lake Forest Park and Kenmore contract with Shoreline, does Lake Forest Park and Kenmore decide to work together and have that silo of work done, and Shoreline does their silo, and how do they work together? There's a number of different options on the table, and I'm really hoping that we can get back together and figure this out. You know, one of the things that has been coming up there, I got a question over this last weekend about like, what is the fire department's role in emergency management? And we, you know, if emergency management is this big pie, we have a small piece of it. And most of it's with the mitigation efforts and being able to respond. And typically on a big disaster, our involvement may last only activity period, you know, or two maybe. Whereas, you know, the whole response and the recovery and all of that might go for weeks, depending. And so our what I have pledged and what I continue to affirm with Bristol and with the others, I haven't met the new city manager for Kenmore yet, but with Phil, who's in Lake Forest Park, is that we're here to support and be a good partner and being able to work with the emergency management divisions within the cities or NEMCO to make sure that we're all working together. My focus is that from a selfish standpoint, I would love the three cities to be all under one umbrella. That may not be possible because of the different needs and the emergency management, you know, and so forth. It's Shoreline can function as a standalone. They have enough assessed valuation money needs to have their own emergency management department. Kenmore, not so much. Lake Forest Park is even further. So it really, the message should be, we should be looking to do what we can to improve everybody's level and performance across the three cities. And whether that's, like I said, there's about 3 or 4 different options to look at and those silos. And if we are gonna be in silos, that they better work together. Because right now, the expectation, if we had a big earthquake right now, which by the way, drop, okay. If we had one, yeah, there you go. The expectation from Shoreline would be we'd set up an EOC here. The expectation from Lake Forest Park and Kenmore is we set up an EOC down at Kenmore. Okay, well, where are we going? And what is that expectation? And so I've been very clear about what our role is and how we're going to operate, but we need to get some of this stuff finalized. And so I was pleasantly surprised that they didn't support it at that time, because the recommendation from the consultant was to go with a standalone system at Kenmore, which they would have to pay, in my opinion, they have to pay a lot more than what they're paying now into NEMCO, and they may not get much more than what they're getting from NEMCO now. So why not improve on what we can do together and spend less money and be better together? That's been my kind of my mantra on this. So I was happy to see that Kenmore is not planning on just separating out from NEMCO. But the next step is, what are we going to do to make sure that everybody's happy and getting all their needs addressed? I don't know what that looks like. This is really for the cities to get together and get this figured out. I'm there to try and mediate, to try and help motivate, or be I don't know, an open ear, you know, to what the issues are. I know what we need from a fire department standpoint, and that's not what the cities need. The cities need a whole lot more. And so I'm trying to, more to come. I just wanted to give you guys an update as to where we're at.
Good luck with that.
Well, I'm just trying to help.
Solving environments. Wow.
So
Moving on, negotiations, chief.
So we have we worked until like late Tuesday night. We have a TA'd uniform CBA. Then I believe that the next steps for that is that on Sunday evening, when Doug gets back into town, that he's gonna present to the body and, you know, talk about anything he wants to talk about, you know, and the different pieces of the negotiations. And then what will follow that will be you know, some time for everybody to digest it, and then a vote. In the meantime, I'm taking I haven't done it yet. I was hoping to get to it the last couple of days, but I haven't yet. Is taking all the uniform CBA stuff, policies and articles that have been agreed to, move it into the chief officer CBA, update that, which is that's the vast majority of the work in the chief officer CBA. And then track the changes, give that offline or digitally to Doug. And I think we can do a lot of the work for the next step on the chief officer CBA negotiations. We could probably do that like in one meeting and sit down, because we believe there's only a handful of items. And we've already started talking about some of them. And so if we do some of the pre-work in just remotely, you know, digitally, then we're hoping that can be fairly quick. So that's the next steps. Any questions on that? Because I'm going to talk about one last. Okay, I will plan on an executive session. Well, I'll probably wait until I have a vote from the, yeah, I'll wait until I have a vote. And then we'll go and I'll brief you on the uniform CBA. So probably not the next meeting, but the meeting after that. In the meantime, as I've reported out previously, our admin staff have voted to join the union. And so we don't have word from PERC that's been actually filed yet, but we expect that that's coming. And then after that, there will be a review period, and then for us to agree, not agree, what, disagree with certain positions or whatever, I've never been through this process, but this is what I've been told. We have been engaging with Summit Law a little bit on this, as to what the process looks like. But what the likelihood is that they will, that PERC will come back, and then we will need to negotiate either a new contract or the joining into the non-uniform CBA, which is what's most likely. And I think that that's what Doug is thinking too, because he and I already started talking about it a little bit. So, that means that the non-uniform CBA negotiation will probably take a little bit longer, because we'll have a bunch of new positions and language that we'll need to put into the non-uniform. So I'm expecting that probably won't occur until at least mid-September, if not later. We don't even have a PERC decision yet to validate the vote. Once we have that, then there's a 21-day review period, and then we can start, going through, the negotiations and stuff, which puts us in a little bit of a limbo. I briefed you on some of the things that we've been thinking about for, say, the administrative handbook, which is kind of like the guiding document for how our staff work and so forth. We can't do anything because we're in this limbo period, because it could be viewed as either trying to undermine the unionizing efforts, or undermining certain positions, or strengthening certain positions even, or something like that. So we're kind of in this limbo phase where we have to wait and then actually negotiate. But we do have some needs that are kind of pressing. I don't have, some real recommendations at this point, but I just want to put on your radar that we are looking at, we have some workload capacity concerns, especially in finance right now. So we are looking at what we can do to try and bridge the gap and or augment the capabilities, or increase staff, or something along those lines. I don't have a proposal for you. I'm just putting it on your radar at this point. So, okay, that's it.
Okay, St. Margaret's Place.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I was having a conversation with Andres, and he brought to my attention something that I had not known, which is that I know that our crews have been responding to St. Margaret's, that it's at least once, well, on average, at least more than once a shift. And what the intent of the occupancy is a really good one, is to help people, not be homeless. It's to bridge gaps in, social care, things of that nature. What I did not appreciate until a few weeks ago is that it is a fairly unsafe occupancy for us as responders. There are people there that have potentially, allegedly committed some pretty heinous crimes, and are just not incarcerated yet because they're pending different evaluations and so forth. There's the potential for drug use that's going in there. I think Ryan or myself have reported out that there's some tampering going on, or there had been, with some of the fire suppression systems. So we've had to put Knox box locks on the standpipes and so forth. There's things of that nature, and I'll just summarize by saying it is of pretty significant concern, our safety and the safety of our personnel. So we've tried to do a number of things to address this. One of the things that we have done is add an engine to 8 call responses, so that there's multiple people, so that they can maintain better scene awareness. We do not allow our deputy fire marshals, whatever, to do inspections on their own. We are asking for a dual PD response to the location. And we've given direction to our crews on how to operate there. I've met with the police chief. He's in support of making sure that we keep our personnel safe. And is committed to, getting units there, to help with that. Our next step is I'm gonna be briefing the city council on this at our dinner meeting that's coming up. And one of our next steps is for the police chief and I to get with Catholic Services, which is the owner of the building, to look at what they can do to strengthen the safety within the structure. As a reminder, when they were proposing this building, there was a pledge, and we knew that, some of what they were planning on doing. But we did not realize some of the occupants were gonna be in the status that they are. And there was a pledge before this was approved that there was gonna be active security, throughout the building and all that, and that's not entirely the case at this point either. So I wanted to give you a heads up in case. I don't think it's out there publicly or anything like that, or where you get some negative feedback, or concerns, except for internally, maybe some of the employees, but at some point, this could be an issue for us, whether we get to a point where we have to take even a harder stance with our responses there, or if something happens there. So I just wanted to make sure that you're in the know. So our safety of our personnel has got to be a paramount priority in this.
So did you say the city is aware of this too?
I did brief Bristol yesterday when I met with him on this, and the police chief is absolutely aware.
City council?
And I'm gonna be briefing the city council on it as well.
Chief, this is Commissioner Wallem, and my understanding is there are actual murderers there. People that have really, like you said, done some heinous things, and so that's a huge concern for safety of our firefighters. And I just wanted to reinforce what you're saying, like we need to know about this stuff so that they're protected and not walking into something blind.
Completely agree. And that's, there are people there that, I wouldn't say that they're convicted murderers, they've been accused of murder or alleged murder, and they're pending psych evaluations or other social services and pending a trial. So, that was a big surprise to me, from 3 weeks ago. That was the one that really threw a big red flag up for me, and why, I started acting on this a few weeks ago, we've been trying to set up some better systems in place. Like I said, adding an engine, meeting with the police chief, trying to get dual response, waiting for PD, not entering into the structure until PD is there, things of that nature to make sure that are trying to keep our personnel safe.
Moving on, can I back up just a minute and put on record that we have excused absences? Yes.
Good.
For Commissioner Eric Admin, Commissioner Rick Webster, and Commissioner Barb Sullivan. And I apologize, that should have been done at the beginning of the meeting. And then let's move on to projected agendas.
So I have one thing that I'd like to put on your radar that we started to talk about before the meeting. And that is, I pushed out the 2026 budget calendar with the meetings that we need to have for public hearings, for adoption of the budget, and etc. I have right now, November 6th, at our November 6th board meeting to discuss the final draft of the 2026 budget. In recent years, at times we've had special meetings to go line by line and spend as much time as the board wants. Sometimes it's been 45 minutes or even an hour. In more recent years, it's been pretty quick, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. My question is, do you want it to be at a regular board meeting, before the regular board meeting, a special meeting on a completely separate day? If we are to do that, I've tentatively looked at October 30th as a special meeting, no, okay,
I'll be out of town.
okay.
That's fine.
So, and Commissioner Fisher's on our committee, so is Commissioner Webster. But the purpose of that meeting is to take everything and say, here it is. And I would send it out to you all before the meeting so that you guys can digest it, take a look at it and so forth. And then ask any and then I spend as much time as you would like going on any of the line items and explaining, the process or not all that, or taking notes and having to come back and get feedback on you. So my question is special meeting before, on November 6th, have like a 4 o'clock start or something, or at a regular meeting, and I'm happy to do whatever you guys feel comfortable with or would like.
I believe that having it before our regular meeting, there's a lot of.
Oh,
people-
Josh wouldn't be able to
Yes,
make it in time.
Yeah, and Commissioner Admin had a conflict with getting here before.
Or we could do it after our November,
What about Monday, the 3rd? Monday seems to work for most people. Will you be back in town by then?
Yep. I'm back the 1st.
so we're talking November 3rd.
Yeah,
I believe I'm okay,
let's.
if my phone is accurate. My phone tells
Wow.
me everything.
Let's put it down for November 3rd at 5:30. I believe everybody can make it by 5:30.
I will confirm and then I'll send an invite out and make sure that works for y'all.
Perfect,
For 5:30 on November 3rd.
perfect.
Okay.
And
Thank
then I had something to add in there because it is budget seasoning. It might be wise for as many commissioners as possible to get together for a workshop to go over our budget and the
Yeah.
handbook. As Chief has plotted out September 9th, September 24th, and September 29th are dates that he's reviewing budgets. So looking at dates in September to maybe get together, I have kind of penciled in 2 for a Monday, either September 1st or September 15th for Monday. Or the possibility of getting together on a Saturday, September 27th.
The 1st is Labor Day.
Oh, okay, that's probably out then. I didn't realize that.
What's up?
The 1st, it's Labor Day.
Oh, yeah, Labor Day would not be good.
How about the 15th?
I
Fine
can
with
do
me.
the 15th.
I'll be working, but I can zoom in.
Okay,
The 15th works for me as well.
okay, let's pencil in the 15th then. About 5:30, Josh. You can usually get here by 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 is good.
Okay, and it'll be a workshop, so it doesn't have to be recorded or anything. I'll have Beatrice get all the documents together that we need to go over and, yeah. Hopefully maybe within a half an hour, we can kind of go over stuff and knock that out. In the meantime, because we'll go over our handbooks really quick too for any changes. Take a look at the handbooks and see and make notes in there of any changes that you'd like to make or see done. And that'll expedite having to go page by page by page. Shop. And that's all I had. Anybody else have anything?
Beatrice has highlighted October 2nd. We don't
Yeah,
have to decide tonight, but maybe moving that
to a different date.
different day. The following week, I believe I'm still gone. I'm gonna be gone. October 2nd, we'll be finishing up the summit and coming back, and so that would be a bad day to, or you guys can do it with it. Well, no, my exec team's gonna be there too, so.
Well,
Um,
doesn't it get over at noon?
It does, but I'm immediately heading out of town. Yeah, so I'm leaving from there, to, well. What?
I think we need to keep it there and,
Okay.
you know, you can just come in.
All right.
All right. Matt, will you be able to,
Yeah, maybe.
Be available?
Maybe Chief Warren's right to be available that day. That's,
we have a
that's after
schedule?
the King County, yeah, Fire Chiefs Summit. I have it on my calendar currently. So I think it would work for me, but, let me just double check the personal calendar.
Now Rod and I will be attending the summit too, so we will be coming home and, you know, coming to the, pretty much to the meeting.
Yeah,
too, but-
I can be back here for that.
And just FYI, I'll be out of country. I'll be in British Columbia, for about 6 days, 6 or 7 days following, the summit.
Good for you.
So,
I will be either absent or on Zoom at our September 4th meeting.
okay.
I'll be in Oregon.
I'm gonna put you down as excused and that way you're covered.
What about it?
I'll put you down as excused.
Yeah,
yes,
oh yeah, I'll be,
And that way you're covered.
I will probably be Zooming.
Okay, just in case.
That's my
Okay.
plan anyway, we'll see how it
All
goes.
right, we're not going to reschedule.
Okay,
Anything else, anybody? Okay,
I'll move to adjourn.
it's 5:26
Have fun, David.
or 6:26, excuse me, thank you.
Let me fix that.
I really need to go home. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Got a couple days where I'm working.
I've been unable to figure out how to make my thing on mute, so anyway, I just
Oh.
did, I guess.
It's the little the microphone down at the bottom left,
Yeah,
and it won't mute for you?
no, I got it figured out.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, you did pretty good at staying quiet then.
Okay.
I muted him.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Gee.
That was kind of important.
Okay.